Even after the price hikes and nerfing cheaper towers, we're still running at a deficit. I guess this is what happens when your texts are done by people who can't read. And really, looking at the numbers, I think there's only one option left, and I'm really not looking forward to it, but I think we're going to have the budget. Wait, what's this? What did I just get to? Oh my, is that supposed to be me?
Half cash is a game mode that nobody particularly likes. Some say it's the hardest, some say it's just particularly annoying, but in general, nobody particularly likes to play it. And to be honest, I gotta agree, it's probably my least favorite game mode to play. However, just because it's a frustrating game mode to play, doesn't mean you can at the very least have a strategy going into it. And today I would like to spread some of my sage wisdom on how to beat half cash on most maps.
Hey.
Hey.
I thought you should know that in light of recent budget cuts, your show is being defunded too.
Well, okay, that makes sense, but what do I do now?
Well, I guess you'll just have to make do with what you have now.
Well, I guess I'll see what I can do. I don't think the budget cuts will affect the show negatively, right? Now, of course, the first thing I want to talk about is some bare bones basic essentials. Now, to me, there are two essentials for half cash, that is, monkey knowledge and using a cheap hero that can take care of the early rounds while you save up for something else. Speaking of monkey knowledge, in my mind there's two essentials, mana shield for the regenerating 25 health, and bonus monkey because, I mean, who doesn't want an extra dart monkey on the field? There's also very essential rounds to keep in mind when you're actually playing half cash, those being round 24, because that's when you encounter your first camo, round 28, because this is when you encounter your first lead, round 38, because that's when you encounter your first ceramics, and round 40, because that's, of course, when the blue moa first appears. And as far as heroes go, Quincy and Sada are pretty much your best options, although there are heroes like Geraldo, which are kind of debatable because, yeah, there are cheap items that are pretty good, but at the same time, it entirely depends on what strategy you're going for. And there are heroes that I would actually say to actively avoid, like Churchill because he's really expensive, Benjamin because of his cash generating ability is practically useless here, and Adora because, I mean, she levels really slow and her sacrifice ability is just not going to be worth it in this particular situation. God, really? And now you may be wondering about actual strategy, the meat, bones, potatoes, and otherwise, on how to actually beat a game of half cash.
In the tower.
Man, I really wish we could rehire the writers. Half cash allows a lot of tier 3 and tier 4 towers to actually shine through when they usually wouldn't really be as noticeable. For example, Never Miss. Never Miss is a tier 3 tower that basically allows the Ace's darts to be, well, tracking. As the title would suggest, they don't miss. And while usually this tower is pretty much an oversight on your way to Big Plane, when you have half the income, it actually seems pretty attractive. Another one of these towers would be Druid of the Jungle, which, I mean, it just kind of strangles people, so that's pretty cool. There's also Bomber Ace, Necromancer, and I'll be honest, pretty much any path for the bomb because bomb is just kind of OP. And I suppose you could also just play the Ninja Alch meta because it's actually still pretty good in half cash, as seen with the background footage. Most maps play relatively the same. You're going to be putting down your free dart monkey, your hero, and just kind of going from there, using the cheap darts that I previously mentioned. However, there are some maps that are a little different. For example, multi-lane maps, where you're probably going to want to use Sada, or even a sub-dart start, which is always pretty viable. Although there are some maps that need special attention, like Flooded Valley, Geared, or Quad. So, the first map is... Now, most maps play pretty much the same. You're going to start with your free dart monkey and enter a hero into something else. However, there are some maps that are a little bit different.